The next question is to the Ragland Smith campaign. How UPUA has spent its money this year has generated a lot of controversy, especially on items such as the Spring Festival. Mr. Ragland and Ms. Smith, you both voted to fund the Spring Festival this year and Wally-Palooza last year. Do you believe that UPUA has responsibly spent its money this year, specifically considering that the largest block of it has gone towards the Spring Festival?
Definitely, we both voted to support the cause for bringing, tangible things to the students. We found that this is what students want. To wrap up the year, they want to see fun things. I'm a big believer in financial stewardship. Before we talk about, my opponent brought up many times this week, $45,000. But let's talk about the things we have accomplished with the rest of the money. We put on encampment recently. We had a white loop extension. We had opportunities from a committee chairs and assembly standpoint to co-sponsor with other organizations doing successful things. So before anybody my opponent can attack, the $45,000 towards the Wally-Palooza, I think he should understand that, there have been successful things that have been done with the money that we have been given.
I guess the thing to keep in mind is, so UPUA has been given $144,000 standing budget. So the student activity fee, which each student pays each semester, is always going to be there. There's always going to be the student activity fee. So as UPUA representatives, we voted to utilize that money in the best way possible for students. So as Christian said, we haven't just spent it, we haven't just allocated for a spring festival. There's a lot of different things. The freshman handbook, it's going to help the future of Penn State. We've gone to Washington, D.C. We've gone to the Big Ten Conference so we can grow as leaders to give back. The student activity fee, that money, it can't be used for tuition. So what we have to do is we have 30 to 40,000 undergraduate students here. So if we were to divide that 144,000 by the number of students here, so it would be a $3 to $5 give back return on their tuition. So $3 to $5, or we could use that $3 to $5 on initiatives that mean a lot to them, things that bring a lot of fun things. And you bring up the point about the Spring Festival. The Spring Festival is a fun thing, a way to congratulate students at the end of a great year and a hard-working job that they've done all year. So what we do as UPUA representatives is we seek to use the funds that we have, the student activity fee that's always going to be there, and we try to use it in the best and most effective way possible.
And also, the Spring Festival is another way to mobilize students. We can find a common cause to get students to come out and rally around, whether it's a Spring Festival or a sexual assault march. We found effective ways to rally students. Now, when we come to them in the future for other issues, we can get them a lot easier.
Time.
So one of the concerns we have as a student body is there an accountable student government, and are they being fiscally responsible with the money? Right here, I have a copy of the UPUA current budget ahead of me, and I'll go over some of the top expenses. $45,011.79 in the Spring Festival. Obviously, the freshman handbook, Sam's working on that, $21,000. White loop extension to $55.20. Encampment, which was a great event, was $10,000. Here we also have President Kieran's traveling to the ABTS and being reimbursed $4,200 on a conference that cost $160. So $4,000 in travel expenses. We have to, in order to build trust and confidence in our constituents, you have to be both fiscally responsible and accountable. Here I have an article from the Ecclesian that talks about UPUA spending $5,200 on a 12-month lease for a downtown office that wasn't occupied for 6 months. Now listen, as a CEO, as someone who's worked in business, there has to be accountability for that money. Where is this money for Spring Festivals how is it being spent? When members within UPUA themselves don't even know how, there's no clear and transparent budget. You have to have accountability, you have to have transparency. Part of my 3 tenets of government is accountability, financial transparency and fiscal responsibility, and obviously working on public safety issues. And so I think the question here, you talk about fun things, you talk about the best and most effective way to mobilize students, but then we're spending more than 1/3 on the budget when we have moving on and other avenues for students.
Time.
Definitely. I don't agree with my opponent. I feel as though that we have the opportunity to engage students. Number one, me and Colleen represent the experience. If we get elected to president and vice president, we understand the criticism that has been accomplished, accomplished in UPUA this year and in the past. We know how to move forward. We know how to pick up where we left off. With the downtown office, there was an audit done. It clearly said that everything was good. It was a good idea, but there needed structure. So me and Colleen, when we get into next year, if we God willing, we get into the office, we know how to pick up where we left off in terms of mistakes. Also, talk about the conference and everything else. These are things that we're building materials. This is what enhanced UPUA better with our leadership. I feel as though that we have exhibited in many ways, again, going back to the many activities, many organizations, many initiatives that we've done, that we showed financial stewardship. So you can't just dwell on one thing you read in the Ecclesiastes article. Look at the other things that we accomplished.
I'd like to thank you for bringing the budget, because the budget, we are transparent. The budget is available every week at our weekly assembly meetings, so I'm happy that you were able to get a copy of it, because we are a transparent student government and we are dedicated to serving the student body in the best, most effective way possible.